Okay, here I am at Selbu, and today is what? It's Friday, June. What is today?
25th.
The 25th. And I was in there doing some sermon prep because we've had Bible school all week. And I looked out and I saw these three ladies here. So we're going to start here. Why don't you introduce yourself, give your name and a little bit.
Elizabeth Bryson. I've been coming here off and on for years since my grandparents were originally in Virginia Bell and related to Giannani family.
Oh, so you're related to the Giannani family. And here we have...
And my name is Charlotte Chase. I live on Whidbey Island, and my good friend Linda invited me to come for this celebratory Frontier Day feast and to see her where she grew up.
We met in a writing group on Whidbey Island.
Okay.
And I have written about Mother and Dad's life, and in the early days down the canyon when we didn't have any water or indoor water or plumbing or even Mother just had a little tabletop stove,
yeah.
Kerosene stove, and she used to bake cakes.
Wow.
in her skillet with the lid on it,
huh.
one layer at a time. Anyway, I wrote about that, and Charlotte was being a very curious person. Wanted to see where I had grown up, and she's asked questions that have made me dig deeper.
Wow.
Which is great.
And you're the one here that's the reader of...
I'm Linda Bell Bryson,
and
Lola Ani is my sister.
Yep. And so you've been reading the musings and stuff for a while?
I have. I have, for quite a while.
For quite a while.
Yeah.
And I know you do it for the wonderful writing, but you especially like the pictures, right?
Right, exactly. Exactly. But I do like the way that you intersperse the other type of pictures with your writing.
Oh, okay.
That's great.
Yeah.
Not the people pictures, but the other ones.
Well, the other ones, yeah, just with a little message
and Charlie
there.
Brown and
yeah, a little bit of Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
Try to make it fun. And so I understand you've been a missionary a little bit.
Well, not exactly.
Or
it
connected.
Sounds to me like the way my father and mother decided to go to Peru in the early 50s was my dad was commuting to New York to seminary at Union Theological Seminary in 51.
Okay.
And he had to take the train from Hazard, Kentucky, where they had a church up in Appalachia.
Okay.
And once a month, my mother would go over the mountain, drop my dad off at the railroad station. So on the way back, he noticed in this newsletter called The Christian Century that there was an advertisement for a pastor in Lima, Peru. And it was a group of expats from all over the world who spoke English and were Protestant. And they decided to start out meeting on Sunday mornings in people's homes. Then they rented places in churches, and then they wanted their own church. So they were advertising for a full-time pastor, and that's
wow.
how I got there.
Wow.
And my curiosity about the world happened around our dining room table when missionaries that came from all over the world, I got to listen to their stories if I behaved. And they were fascinating stories.
Yeah,
so that's made me curious my whole life, and the rest is history.
And of particular, you go ahead, Linda.
Your fascinating story is those bicycle rides, I think. All across the country several times and down to South America. How far south did you go?
Well, on that trip, which was in the mid-70s, we started from Detroit, Michigan, and we went down to La Paz, Bolivia. It was about 8,500 miles. So we went through Peru, went through Lima, Arequipa, and then up by Lake Titicaca, up through Puno, Peru, and then up to La Paz, which is at almost 13,000 feet. And we got up to 15,500 feet in Peru, up there in the Altiplanos. So it was quite the deal.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and then before I got here, I 2.5 times went across the United States, which was easier, but I was older then.
Yeah, that does make a difference.
So
yeah.
You must have read about the motorcycle stories of the Argentine doctor.
Oh, yes.
Doctor,
yeah.
Who went off to Cuba to work with Castro in
yes.
liberating them from the Batistas.
That's right.
So he took a motorcycle trip from La Paz the reverse of what you've just described. What is it from Argentina? So Buenos Aires, up to La Paz, up to Peru. And his destination was, and they made a film called Motorcycle Trip or something like that.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Yeah. I've seen that.
So I was wondering if that inspired you, because that would have been a generation before you.
Yeah. Yeah, one of my friends said, well, now, John, that you're 70, maybe you could ride from La Paz down to Tierra del Fuego at the tip of South America. And I said, well, think about that.
Well, that would be a straighter route.
You know, one of my college roommates was a Spanish major. She taught Spanish for umpty years till she retired in California.
Yeah.
And she went on a trip, a cruise. I had always wanted to go around the bottom of South America, always. And she took that trip with me, so I had a Spanish-speaking person with me. It was just fascinating. When I got to Tierra del Fuego, they took us out to a sheep ranch.
Oh, my.
And you might have been around Hooper, because if you look at the latitudes, they're very similar. And I was just blown away with the way it looked. It looked like home, you know.
Wow. That's amazing. Well, listen, I'm so glad you came by. And boy, you knew when to get away, didn't you? You know who the talkers were.
So with your permission, I belong to another writers group.
Okay.
That's based in Lima, but most of the people are all over the world.
Yeah.
One of whom lives in La Paz.
Okay.
And I'm going to send her that short little story about your trip, if you don't mind.
No, you go ahead. You go right ahead.
And today's our meeting day, so I'm going to miss it, but I can at least send them a video.
Well, this here, I'm going to put on, it'll be on YouTube, so. And it'll,
great.
Yeah, it'll be on YouTube, so you can find it through Selbu Lutheran. I'll put it under the Selbu YouTube channel. So that'll be fun. Well, thank you so much for coming, and it was really great. And I'm going to let it, unless somebody else has anything else. Linda?
No.
I'm curious about that picture in there.
Of
the Norwegian community, the sending community.
And
do you all have still ongoing relationships?
We do have a little ongoing relationship there. Several people here have been to Selbu, which is, I guess they call it a province in Norway. It's beautiful there. And they've sent us plaques, and we've had, an ongoing relationship there. And the original Selbu church, now I could be wrong on this, but it was before Martin Luther. It was like in the 1100s. And then of course, Selbu Lutheran Church, because Selbu is the name of the province, came about obviously sometime after Luther. So I don't know the exact dates on that. You have to check that out. You're historians more than I. So, but anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. So thank you so much for coming. I'm just going to, this is the beautiful Selbu, a day after our Bible school. We had kids all around these grounds. Fun to see all the kids there, and my wife has some kitties, playing with the kitties, and now I have you lovely people here, and thank you very much. Wave goodbye.
Bye.